Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go with them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I can do a story titled, Wife Had a One-Night Stand, Got Herpes, I'm Walking Away. And guys, this story, just like the title says, is about a husband who's done, who's kicking the wife to the curb after she was cheating on him, I think on some work trip or something like that, and caught something from the guy. And as you can probably imagine, this guy is dealing with Waterworks Central, but it's not working on him. And boom, he's done. And I thought it'd be a good one to go over here, guys, demonstrating, God forbid, you relationship guys, this ever happens to you, this is what you got to do, end it, walk away, because you're never going to get past this. Once a cheater, always a cheater, and just simply, it's not going to end well. But aside from the entertainment factor, there's another thing in this story I really want to point out. And when you leave this video, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about, as if you've heard this before, but this will really hit home. Just how women will use the waterworks to really try to manipulate a guy when they've screwed up. You know, and it usually is a situation where a guy might come home from work or meet up with her, and she's there crying, and he's like, "What's wrong, honey?" And she's like, "Oh," crying and carrying on. "I can't tell you," or "I got something to tell you." That's not because she's upset about the situation. She's hoping that the waterworks will make you feel bad, so when she tells you the bad news, which is bad news for you, that you'll go easy on her. It's all an act. And they master this. They become black belts in crybaby manipulation tactics by the time they're 18. Many of them by the time they're probably teenagers. And don't fall for it. Now, don't get me wrong. There's sometimes when a woman cries, it's not to manipulate you. If she's crying and her dad just died, she's not trying to manipulate you. Or she's crying and her dog just died, again, not trying to manipulate you. But if you come home and she's crying, she's like, "I got something to tell you." Trust me. She's trying to manipulate. Don't fall for it. And this woman here, so many times, it's ridiculous. So it starts off, says here, "I'm posting my story today because over the past year and a half, I've been a lurker on here and have read many of other people's stories, trying to get some sort of insight or clarity. I thought that would help me in my situation. There are a lot of heartbreaking stories on here, but also some gems. I hope you can take something away from my story, or that it can give you some sort of clarity on your journey through whatever you're going through. Well, back in 2018, at the end of July, my wife, a 34-year-old female, left for a quick work trip on a Thursday and flew back home Saturday morning. That evening, my wife and I'm 32, went to my stepdad's birthday dinner, and nothing seemed off or anything, totally normal. On Sunday, we did our typical routine, grocery shopping, errands, and got ready for the work week. Well, the following Monday, when the work week started, everything seemed normal, and we did our usual texting throughout the day, but on my way home from work, she texted me. She said, "I think I have a yeast infection, and I'm going to go check it out." I said, "Oh crap, that sucks." And then I made a joke saying, "Hopefully it's not an STD, ha ha ha." Well, she LOL'd back, and that was that. Uh-oh. Well, we know, obviously, from the title what it was. Well, a few hours go by before I had seen her, and she texted me and said, "Your comment earlier about being an STD was weird. You don't think I'm cheating on you, do you?" Well, he's thinking, well, I do now. I kind of laughed it off and text back, "No, LOL," but something about the comment for her to say that just put me off a little bit. See? Trust your gut. His gut was saying, hang on here, this is not right. Well, thinking nothing of it, I went back to whatever I was doing, and looking back, this was red flag number 1. Brother, there are, I'm sure, a lot more red flags than what you realized at the time. Well, 2 days went by, and she said that it got worse, and she was going back in. I thought to myself, damn, I feel bad for her, because I know she has had something like this mildly before, but never this bad. Hold on. Did he just say she had something like this before? Uh-huh. Okay. You weren't investigating that? Maybe that's why you made the STD joke. But anyhow, when she came home from the doctor for the second time, she said she now has thrush and a severe yeast infection. I remember thinking to myself, what the F is thrush? And she explained to me how it's a throat infection. Oh, I can imagine the jokes in the comment section. She's got herself a throat infection, How'd she get that? I remember joking with her saying, well, if you're sick, stay away from me because I don't want to get sick. And I'm so glad I did stay away. Looking back, all this was red flag number 2. More red flags than you realize, dude. Well, for the next couple days and into the weekend, she was pretty much bedridden. She called into work and did some work things from home that she could. I remember not getting too close to her those handful of days and just kind of looking at her while she was either in bed or on the couch and just feeling bad. She was clearly sick, and there wasn't really anything I could do. Well, this is a little bit of her karma for what she did. The following week, as she started to feel better, that's when I know something was going on with her. Something. There's been a whole lot of things going on with her, brother. One day I came home from work, and she was crying on the couch. Here we go. What interesting timing, guys, that he just happened to get home and she's there crying on the couch. You know darn well she's looking out the window. Car pulls up in the driveway. She's like, whipped up some tears, thought of like the ending of Titanic or something, and started the waterworks. And he walks in. What's wrong, honey? This is what she's doing. I asked her what was wrong, and she said that she was going to start seeing a counselor. I was a bit puzzled, but I said, okay, and that if I was going to go too, or I needed to go. She said no, and she just hasn't been feeling herself lately and needed to talk to someone. I said, okay, red flag number 3. You see what she's doing? She's softening the thing here because why is she going to a counselor to talk to? Well, we know why. A few days later, I got out of the shower, and again, she's sitting on the bed, crying again. Yeah, I know my 4%ers, the women watching this are like, we know what the bitch is doing. Again, she's watching him. He's, finally, he's just finishing up, rinsing off the shampoo out of his hair and everything. She knows he's going to be out in like 5 minutes. And then, okay, again, and he walks out. And, what's wrong, honey? Fucking snake. I asked, what's going on? And she said to me, is this as good as it gets? Is this what we want? Is this what you want? Is this what I want? Is there anything more to life than this? Translation, she's freaking out. She's bored. A quarter-life crisis, if you will. To obviously justify what's coming. I remember being a little caught off guard here because it took a second to register what she was asking. I didn't know what to say, so I asked her, like, what do you mean? That's a good question. Always ask that. Don't assume shit. She just responded with a never mind, and I can't recount what happened after that. All these seeds she's planting in his head. Then on August 14, 2018, obviously the story was a while ago, but he says he's been lurking on Reddit for a while. At 9 p.m., we were getting in bed, and she starts crying again. And I ask her, what's the matter? So I want to know how he exactly worded that. Was it like, what's the matter, honey? Or was it more like, what the hell's the matter now? I mean, I'd be like that at this point. And she starts crying even harder. And I told her, I know something's been going on these last couple weeks, and whatever it is, I just want you to know I love you, and whatever it is, we'll work through it. Smack! You jackass. That's what she wanted. That's what she's doing on purpose. To make you say that whatever it is, honey, we'll get through it. I love you. And inside, she probably got this big-ass Mr. Grinch smile. Y'all remember from Grinch Stole Christmas when he did that big evil smile? Because that's what the waterworks is for. Again, the women watching this are like, dumb motherfucker. She said, oh God, I can't tell you. If I tell you, you won't want to work it out. Again, trying to make him feel bad. It was in that moment I started to feel the butterflies and adrenaline, or whatever you want to call it, hit my stomach, and I said, please tell me. Then she hit me with, I had a one-night stand. There we go. It was in that moment, all the red flags, all the little things that were going on in those previous weeks all came together like one big puzzle. Dude, half the shit went over your head. You didn't even notice. Well, here's the story. When she was through with her work for the day on the work trip, she went to a bar to have a drink before going back to her hotel. She sent me a picture of the beer she was drinking, and I said the nightly love you good night type of thing. While she was at the bar, she met a guy with that same name as me. Go figure. She had him talking to him all night and having a few more drinks, and they left the bar at 2 o'clock in the morning. How many of you all think this is the full story of how this worked? I highly doubt it. She was probably bouncing up on his lap when they said their goodnights on the phone. They went back to his house, and where she then sucked his you-know-what, hence the throat sickness. And then they had you-know-what without a condom. Insult to injury. I asked her if he, finished inside of her, and she said no, and they pulled out and had his love juice on her stomach. Okay, TMI there. But I don't know for sure. It turns out he had herpes, ended up giving it to her, and that yeast infection and the thrush in her throat was actually the herpes outbreak. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. This sucks, but, I think it's funny she got that. The whole thing with all the few weeks of the waterworks, and I got to go to the therapist, and all that stuff. I can't tell you. I remember feeling absolutely heartbroken, devastated, shocked, and in disbelief when she told me everything that had happened. Well, I'd also feel disgusted. I was pretty messed up for a few months following D-Day, so much that I had to get on meds for a while to get me straight. I knew something was physically wrong with me because I felt like total crap all the time, and it turns out I had a blood pressure of 149/127. No wonder I felt like crap. Well, those events would do it. My brother, why aren't you literally with your foot up her ass kicking her out of the house? But that's coming soon. I would say we had a good marriage. My friend, no, you did not, because that wouldn't have happened if you had a good marriage. We were everyone's favorite couple. My dad even called us Ken and Barbie. Well, that's an insult because, if I'm mistaken, my sister had Barbies and Kens in the 1980s when we were little kids, and last time I checked, Ken was missing an object between his legs. But anyhow, I'm just trying to give you some context because we were now dysfunctional or have some serious or obvious marital issues. But I guess what happened kind of proves otherwise. I remember when I told some of my close friends and family, and everyone had the same wide-eyed look and the same "are you serious" response. What do you mean? They ask him, "Are you serious?" No, I'm joking about this. I got nothing else to fucking do but joke around about this. My wife's sucking some guys you-know-what and catching throat disease or whatever. What a total shock to me, as well as everyone else that knew us. She's been going to a counselor this entire time and digging into everything and what happened. Digging into it, well, like I was digging into her. No, more like, how about just, okay, you're an asshole. Okay, pay me my fee. Stop being a bitch. The whys and hows, the whats of it all. She has told me she doesn't know why, all the time she's been hit on by guys, why she gave in this time. It doesn't really matter, though, because what's done is done, and all it takes is one time to bring a marriage crumbling down. Correct. And I have a very hard time believing this was her first rodeo. Remember, he said before she got something in the past. Let's not forget that detail. She did say that he made her feel wanted, gave her attention, and I guess validated her by telling her she was beautiful, blah, blah, blah. What I tell you guys, it's always about the attention and validation. If that's all it took, she has her own issues to deal with, and unfortunately, she wants adult enough to really get out. Okay, he fucked up the way he wrote this, but the point is, a little too late. I understand that it takes two to tango, and I had a role in all this, but I can't take any responsibility for the way she acted, treated me, her, or our marriage, and the damage she caused. No, dude, do not start blaming yourself for this. Oh, our marriage was boring. Oh, I could have paid more attention to her. If she was unhappy, she couldn't communicate with you that she was unhappy before, what happened. No. I can, though, understand where I should have been a better husband. I should have been more attentive, more present, just more whatever she felt needed, lessons learned. No, bro, she's trying to make you feel bad to justify her actions, okay? Because how many guys out there literally do everything that's so-called textbook to make their girl happy on all fronts, and guess what? The same crap happens. So, no. If she would have come to you and explained in a way that a man could understand, not dropping stupid hints and talking innuendos and that type of shit, is direct with him and communicated endlessly, that'd be one thing. You could have worked together, but no. It's been over a year and a half and we are separated. Well, good. I'm glad you're on the way to divorce. But this is still a major roadblock for me in my life. I've chosen to walk away from her and our marriage, and I struggle with this because this is never what I wanted. She wants to stay together and make it work, but for me, the damage is too great. Well, of course she wants to make it work. She's not hurting from this because she didn't have to suffer through this. Over this last year and a half, I do think she's tried to do all the right things to try to make it work, but with the STD involved, I just cannot. With all what happened and knowing the details, I just can't do it. And guess when I say I can't, I'm really saying I choose not to. For me, the disrespect is too great, the humility is too much, an act that was just uncalled for and so selfish. Good for you. Look, I'm sure this isn't easy for him. He didn't think this would happen. Thank God. And by the way, they don't have any kids, thank God. It's sad because she knows she ruined a perfectly normal marriage and wishes she could take it back and wants a redo, but she made her choices that night. Correct. She doesn't get a redo. Plenty of them that led down this path. I don't think I'll ever understand how she could leave the bar with him, get in his car, drive with him, get to his house, go inside, go into his bedroom. Let's not leave out, suck his you-know-what, F him, have him splatter his love juice all over her stomach. He neglected to mention that part, but we know. There's so many gates and red flashing lights and ringing bells, all that is just unbelievable. But she made every one of those choices. Yes, she made the choice. I tried to be aware of my pride and keep it in check. And if I ask myself why can't I not move forward with her, for me it comes down to my own values and beliefs, and what has happened goes against everything I believe in and stand for. Lots of cognitive dissonance. And flat out, how about this? Once a cheater, always a cheater. I can only imagine all the waterwork she's been doing the last year and a half in the divorce separation process. Then the whole herpes aspect that will never go away and will always be a constant reminder of what she did, and I chose not to put myself in that risk of getting it. Mentally and emotionally, it's just too much. Plus, I just don't see her in the same light or view her that same way anymore. I've lost the respect and admiration I had for her. There's a lot of layers to this onion, and it's crazy how something like this can change your entire life, physically and emotionally. Thank you for reading. I hope this helps you in some way. Keep your head up, and you still have a life to live. Amen. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, but it's a tough one when you go through shit like this. So, guys, there you go. I hope now you can get my point, and I was very elaborate with this, with the mimicking of the waterworks to make the point how, again, if they're crying, the odds are very much it's a manipulation tactic. Again, not always. It could be a genuine reason that they're sad, and that's, somebody died, somebody's sick, whatever. But when it's, when you come home from work and I have something to tell you, trust me, they're trying to weaken you, bring down your defenses so you feel bad. And he was falling for it, So be aware. And again, the women watching this, I'm going to read the comments. I'm going to be like, that's what we do. And they're masters at it by the time they're teenagers. And guys have no clue men in their 50s have no clue oftentimes about these tactics. So remember that. But again, also wants to cheat, always a cheater, and get rid of him, move on. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, you guys find a good story you want to send me, send it my way, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And if it's a good story, I'll definitely cover it. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.